I was at the brewery early this morning doing some work, and I carefully printed out what I was going to say, and it's still somewhere at the brewery. So I have a couple notes here on my computer. I hope I get through it. Anyone who knows me knows that's typical of my organizational skills. So it is my absolute pleasure to present the 2020 Poudre Pioneer Award. And big thanks to Aaron Goldman and the whole forum committee for doing all the work behind this and just allowing me to be a mouthpiece for you. As you may recall, last year, Lauren Maxey, who served as president of ELCO and NPIC, and Tom Shoemaker, who served as Natural Areas Director for the City of Fort Collins, were the recipients. 2020 had 10 strong nominations from agricultural, municipal, environmental, and journalism sectors. It was not an easy selection process for PRTI. The field of strong nominations tells me that the Poudre River is in good hands. It tells me that the Poudre has a deep bench of folks from all of these sectors who care deeply about this most precious of our resources. I know I speak for Corey, who's gonna, Corey, and all the other brewers in the watershed when I say we deeply appreciate all of your hard work and your brainpower and your willingness to work across all sorts of lines that traditionally cause divides in other communities and watersheds. And most of all, we appreciate your hearts for the Poudre that make our communities along this river and beyond it far better places. The Poudre and its inhabitants are special, and the nominees for this award prove that to the nth degree. With your continued efforts, I have confidence that we can find solutions to current and future concerns over water, and I think everyone in this room realizes that that is saying a lot. After much deliberation, PRTI selected Jeff Burley, Ben Loeffler, and Tim O'Hara to receive the 2020 Poudre Pioneer Award for their pioneering and collaborative work on the Poudre River Whitewater Park. Will you three please come up to the podium? These three men volunteered 7 years of their time to help plan, advocate for, fund, and bring about the private-public partnership now known as the Poudre River Whitewater Park. Thanks to both them and all the people in their families that supported them during that 7 years. They advocated for the inclusion of the Whitewater Park in the Poudre River Downtown Master Plan and the Fort Collins Capital Improvement Program, and were tireless in their fundraising efforts. Thanks also go out to Matt Day and Kurt Friesen at the City of Fort Collins for their dedication to this project as well. The park itself not only provides recreational value, but also creates additional public access to the river, improves water quality by running water through structures and wetlands before returning it to the river, includes stormwater management enhancements, reestablishes floodplain area, and improves fish migration with a fish passage structure. It's quite the tongue twister if you try to say it at your table. But that's pretty awesome. This project serves as a great example of how we can all work together to realize a variety of benefits for the river. Thanks to these efforts, ever more people will be introduced to the uses and beauty of our healthy working river. And we will learn about the issues facing it as well. The Poudre River will have more champions for generations to come thanks to Tim, Ben, and Jeff. Now y'all get to chat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We really appreciate the nomination for this award and being honored in this way. We're very grateful to this group for considering us. This project for us was a very interesting idea that kind of spawned out of a conversation and became something a lot greater than what we even thought it would be when we had the original idea. So we're really proud of it. Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." It's one of my favorite quotes by her, and it really is true for what happened with this project for us. We were sitting around talking about university connections and a way to bring the river more in front and center of the city of Fort Collins, and it ended up evolving from a simple conversation to a completed project that's, in my opinion, one of the nicest, if not the nicest, whitewater parks in the whole country. And there are about 100 of them right now. An important part of keeping the river healthy is bringing people to the river so they can enjoy it in a responsible way and thereby learn to get to know it and love it and understand the importance of a healthy working river. This project will do just that. The neat thing about this project, whenever we brought it up to somebody, it was very well received from the beginning because it had such an emphasis on all the various interest groups and people that wanted to have clean water, clean fish, recreation, and all tied together really well. I want to thank hundreds of private donors that gave their hard-earned money to this project. Without them, this wouldn't have happened. We had several hundred people donate over a course of about 12 years for the project. We had thousands of taxpayers give money through the Bob incentive tax, and many departments with Fort Collins City came together to make this a reality. Wanted to highlight a couple of people that were really special in the project. I want to thank Jack and Ginger Grand for all they did. We literally, yeah, let's clap for them. Yeah. We called them with a couple days' notice before the project was going to die, and they stepped right up to the plate without hesitation and not only got involved in a big way, but also set forth the idea of a yellow ribbon on the package, and that is what you remember a lot of something is the last 10%. The 10% that's the hardest to accomplish. That's the 10% that makes a project special and is usually given up. And as we were in talks of what to cut out of the budget so we could finish it, they came forth with a substantial amount of money to make sure we didn't have to do that and that we could have that special bridge across the river in honor of their family. So I want to thank you very much for answering that call. I want to thank Dave Edwards, a big mentor to all of us. He helped us learn how to collaborate with the community and bring everybody together in a really interesting way to keep everybody's interest moving forward on the project and how to be what he terms a community builder, which I love because it just means instead of affiliation with any particular organization, your affiliation is with the community and making an improvement overall. And that's something that he's mentored all of us in. I want to give a special thanks to the Graves family. Robin and Lori were instrumental through this whole project, not only giving money and helping and supporting, showing up for meetings at 7 in the morning, but also carrying forth the concept of the Blue Trail, which is not only can you have a trail on the river for bikes, but you can also have a trail through the water and connecting the mouth of the canyon to the downtown Fort Collins and beyond with clean water for fish and for recreation and bringing people in the community together. And lastly, I want to thank my lovely wife, Katie, who gave up a lot of time with me to focus on this project. Over the time from when I started the involvement with it, we've had 2 children, and she spent many nights raising them without me because I was involved in this. So I want to thank you very much.
First of all, thank you to the PRTI community for considering us for this award. We are absolutely honored. We would absolutely be nowhere without public and private partnership throughout this process. We'd really like to extend our thanks to Darren Atterbury, Jeff Mihalik, the City of Fort Collins staff members, John Stokes, and others for continuing to press on, or I should say rather put up with the 3 of us for the last 7 years. I know it's been a challenge, but look what we did. It's awesome. By defining the Poudre River Downtown Master Plan and placing this project at the top of the Building on Basics tax incentive, you prioritize the river in this community, and we sincerely thank you for that. Keeping our focus on the 3 objectives of this project being flood mitigation, habitat restoration, and of course, for Ben and I especially, recreation, you've created something on the Poudre that will be cherished for generations to come. Without the leadership of city council members like Jerry Horak, Mayors Wade Troxel, and Karen Whitconnott, we would still have an absolutely abandoned diversion dam in downtown Fort Collins, separating fish habitats and preventing access to the great resource that is the Poudre River. Finally, I'd like to give a special thanks to my lovely wife, Tara, for all of her support for the last several years on the project. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. That nails it. I learned something this morning that's great. There's 15% of you sitting in this room that have never kayaked or been in a raft but want to. No excuses now. I mean, it's in your own backyard, literally. So thanks to Ben and Jeff, we couldn't have done it. The Poudre Runs Through It group, you guys are amazing. I had no idea this kind of turnout was going to be here today. It's fantastic. And it's nice to know there is stewards of the river that are to keep this stuff going. This all started about 7 years ago. Ben asked me to come on the committee for the University Connections, the river group, and they wanted to put more wayfinding, benches, kind of interpretive displays, and that's all great. That's all on the trails. It's not the river itself. We said if we're going to do this, we're going to do the Whitewater Park. So we went to the city and asked, what we need to do, and they said raise money. So we took the task in hand and ran with it, and we wanted the Whitewater Park to be the first one in the state, and it's the 25th one I think I counted yesterday. But we learned from all their mistakes, so we do have the best one. I really didn't know why I was going to get involved with this because I don't kayak. And so for 6 years I tried to figure out why we were doing this. Was it the challenge of proving people wrong that said we couldn't do it? That could have been it. I mean, there's no question. It was the fact that the project, according to the Loomis report, is of massive positive economic impact on the Fort Collins as mainly Old Town. It'll bring people to the river for years to come. So the DDA and Matt Robenall were very instrumental in their support there. There was the fact that I always joked about another bullet point in Sunset Magazine making Fort Collins great. That could have been it too. Visit Fort Collins was great. They were a huge supporter of the project. Is the fact there's going to be a gateway and provide safer access to the river? That could have been too. But what happened was one Sunday afternoon last fall, we were coming back from the CSU Arkansas football game, and Jackie, my wife, says, they took the fences down at the Whitewater Park on Friday while we were gone. Let's stop by and look at it. So we go down there, we got our adult cocktails in conspicuous cups, and we walk down to the river, and we walk down to the river. I'd have the first illegal drink in the park, so that's what I do. You can ask my mom and dad. And we walked down there. We parked on Vine, walked past the new sign, walked down to the river, and I look out there, and there's a dad standing in that lower feature, holding a kayak for his son to navigate. The kid was probably 4 years old. He's paddling out in that first wave. That's when I knew why we did this. So I can't thank anybody enough. Everybody was great. Our donors were incredible, and definitely thank the wives for talking us off the ledge. Staying married. My wife said to me, she said, the Coloradoan approached me to be on the editorial board in the middle of this thing. And she goes, oh, that's a great job for a single guy. So I didn't do that, but again, thanks to Poudre Runs Through It. You guys are amazing, and this award is more humbling. When we looked at the nominees, I'm like, man, there's some smart people out there. So we were just dumb enough to raise some money. So thank you.
So Corey's going to present you with some quite amazing photos. Tim, we realize that you don't need more photos, but they really are striking. And thanks to John Bartholow for allowing us to reproduce his images of the Poudre during 3 different seasons. You are allowed to horse trade if you don't like the one that Corey presents to you.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Many thanks to all the people who took the time to nominate the amazing people who are doing this work on our river. Just wanted to put a bug in your ear that we're shortly going to be asking for nominees for the 2021 award. So keep your eyes on the river and the people doing good work along it, and keep this award in mind for those people who are making it great.